Okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to show you GarageBand. GarageBand looks like this guitar with the red and orange symbol. I have it down here. You should have it on your iPad automatically. When you open it up, if you've used it before, it might bring you into something like this. What we want to do is click in the top left, and just watch me now do this later. And you want to get here, you're going to create a song. You should have these options of different instruments available. We're actually just looking for the voice recorder, audio recorder. At the top, you'll see live loops and tracks. We're going to just lay down some tracks now. We'll work on live loops later. I'm going to click voice. And now I'm talking. You can see on the left-hand side a green bar going up and down. That lets the user know how much of their voice is being heard. What you want to do is speak in your normal voice, not in a yelling voice, but in your normal voice, and you want to get this as high as it can go without it getting into the orange or yellow. If it gets into the orange or yellow, you want to bring it down just a little bit more. Okay, now you see there's all these knobs in blue. I don't know what each of those does, and I'm not going to play with them. I'm going to record my voice and see what happens. So two more things that I want to do. There's a plus sign next to the number 8. I'm going to click on that. Section A, I'm changing this to automatic. What that does, that lets this be as long as I need it to be, rather than only for a set amount of time. Next thing I'm going to do is click on the blue triangle. That turns the tick-tock noise of the metronome off. Now I'm going to hit record and do a little practice. This is me practicing saying something to see how well my microphone picks it up with my settings. I hit the stop button. Oops, somebody else is coming in. A couple more people coming back. I hit the stop button, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play. This is me practicing saying something to see how well my microphone picks it up with my settings. I could hear my computer's making noise, so I'm getting a lot of feedback, and I sounded very echoey. I did not like sounding echoey, so I'm going to try to change that by doing something. So now I want to delete that because I'm not going to keep that one. I'm going to go to the left-hand side in the top, and there's the third one in, shows a bunch of bars. I'm going to click that, and there's my track. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to click the microphone symbol, and I'm going to come back here. I'm going to turn down this compressor and turn down this vocal hall. And I'm going to see if that makes it sound better. And I'm going to take this playhead and move it all the way back to the beginning. And I'm going to let another student in. You guys must be having such a tough time with the wind. I'm so sorry. It's horrible to try to do this. Let's try this again. This is my second attempt to see if my voice sounds any different. This is my second attempt to see if my voice sounds any different. Now I like that. That sounded good. So I'm going to keep that one. That's exactly how I wanted it to sound. The reason why I like that, I could still hear the feedback. That's because my computer's working overtime, but I didn't hear that echoey sound. And so if I look, there that track is, and you want to make sure now that the playhead is at the end of the track. This is my second attempt to see if my voice sounds any different. Because when I go back to record more, I don't want to record over what I already did. So now I'm going to start recording a little bit more of the podcast, and I could go on and on and on and talk about comic book collecting and explain to you. I can sound excited and peppy like you said you like to hear and all that stuff. But I don't want to waste too much time, so if I play that, voice sounds any different. Start recording a little bit more of the podcast, and I could go on and on. Okay. Clearly I want to take that cough out of there. but I don't want to spend forever. So I'm going back. And now let's take a look at those tracks. There's the first one. You can see that you can actually separate them. So now I want to find out where that cough was. I'm going to move the playhead. Where'd it go? It's right there. And on and so I found my cough. That's funny. I found my cough in the audio tracks. On and on. Okay, so now I know exactly where it is. It's in this part right here. So watch what I do. This is the last thing I'm going to show you today. I clicked on it once. I'm going to click split. I'm going to use the scissors to cut down. I'm going to come to the end here. I'm going to leave a little bit just in case. Tap on it again, split. I have to take those scissors and slide them down. I'm going to click on that part and delete it. Move this over here. And I move the playhead back. I could go on and talk about comic book collecting and explain to you. So now it goes from one part to the next part without my interruption. So keep talking, keep talking. You can go back and edit it later, but keep talking. When you're done, you just click here. And I clicked in the very top left, and it's called My Song. Well, that's not going to work, so I'm going to click rename, and I'll call this podcast. And since I'm not making a full podcast, I'll call it podcast practice.